Welcome to the podcast that passes poor performance on pop culture. I'm one of your hosts, Darren Duncan, alongside with my best friend, Audie Marsh. We're just a couple of cool cats casually causing some chaos with conversation. We're here to entertain you, not hurt your feelings, so don't blame us.
Audie Marsh in the house. If you see him, point him out. What are you doing, big doggy?
I am sitting here talking to you and ready to get this podcast on its way.
All right, let's get down. I have a bunch of articles to read, and some of them are pretty fucking disturbing, and I really wish that they weren't sent to me, but, you know, sometimes you just gotta fucking read shit like that and let the people hear them, and then we can try to make fun of it. Maybe not. Death is never fun. Because we all know that Audie just killed his mom like a couple months ago. He got her loaded all up with the cancer, and we're fucking pissed about it.
Fuck cancer.
Cancer fucking sucks balls. Do you want to hear about a mom of 3 that was having fun while filming a TikTok in the kitchen with her friend, and then moments later, she was fucking shot dead? Do you want to hear about this?
Yeah, let's hear it. What
So
state?
a mother, Indiana. New Albany, Indiana. That's kind of like in between you and I. So a mother of 3 was shot and killed while she was having fun filming a TikTok video in a kitchen with a friend. Her name was Caitlin Lee. She was 25 years old, and she died on Saturday, August 10th, when her ex-boyfriend, Joshua Thompson, turned up at an apartment in New Albany, Indiana. And this is all according to authorities. I wasn't there. But the New Albany police said that Thompson banged on the kitchen window with the barrel of a gun and then shot at the girl through the glass. In the TikTok video reviewed by police, Lee and a friend are seen laughing, dancing, and lip singing to a song in the kitchen. Because that's what we do on TikTok, and it's fucking fun as shit, right? But not when a fucking dick squeezer comes in with a goddamn gun tapping on the window. This motherfucker. All right, so hold on. The chick was like, "What are you doing here?" And then a gunshot rings out in the video, and she was shot in the head and pronounced dead at the fucking scene. According to the newspaper, the friend who was with her at the time told police that the girl once said to her that if she was ever found dead, Joshua killed her. So Thompson called his brother after the shooting, who advised him to call 911, according to the affidavit. So it's like, when shit goes down like that, don't call your homies first. Call 911. Like I made that mistake when my dad's laying on the floor dying. I called my brother and I'm like, "Dude, what do we do?" And he's like, "Call the ambulance." I'm like, "Fuck that. I'm going to embarrass him. Get over here first." You know? But I also haven't paid any attention to anything that I just read, because I'm annoyed that you took so long for us to go live. So fuck you and our audience. I'm totally fucking kidding. But according to the newspaper, the friend who was with her at the time told police that, yeah, she's like, "If I was ever found dead, man, Joshua killed me." So Thompson called his brother after the shooting, told him to call 911. And then Thompson did, and allegedly told the dispatcher he had shot the mother of his child. So he's like, 911, hello, love. I shot my fucking... That's not how they sound in Kansas. How do they sound in Kansas, Audie?
Almost like people from Rockford. You're doing a good job.
No, because I was trying to do like the... Yeah, you're probably right. I think we all have shitty accents everywhere we go in the world. There's good people, there's bad people, there's shitty accents, and then there's just people who kill their fucking mothers-in-laws in Indiana for some apparent reason.
Like, could you imagine just like walking in or waking up one day and be like, "Yeah, I think this is it. This is where I'm going to fucking kill everybody."
To cross that line.
Like, where are you at?
Yeah, it's insane to me, because we all were like, "I'll kill that motherfucker. Fuck him," you know?
Yeah.
But like, yeah, to finally, cross that line.
Just get to the point where this is the day. and then you carry on the day like nothing's gonna happen, like
Oh,
everything's
you have
good,
to.
and then you just snap, like,
Yeah. Well,
and you
even
just start
after the
fucking
murder, you
killing
have to
everybody.
carry on like nothing happened. You're like,
Yeah.
fucking, I wasn't even there. You got to come up with an alibi and shit. Chris Rock has a bit about it. He's like, if you've never bought a roll of duct tape and a shovel and stood in front of the mirror and practiced your alibi, you've never been in love.
Jeez.
Chris Rock said that, not me. I didn't say that. Chris Rock said it. I thought it was funny. But this motherfucker was charged with murder, criminal recklessness, invasion of privacy, and unlawful carrying of a handgun, according to court records. So, all right. I was just gonna say, I'm like, where was murder? But it was like the first one listed. But a GoFundMe page has now been set up to raise funds for the mom of the three's funeral, which is due to take place on Thursday, which is absurd. That's fucking funerals fucking suck. I tell myself all the time, I'm like, I'm never going to another fucking funeral again for as long as I live. But you know, you gotta fucking go to
You
them, and
you wouldn't
it
go to
fucking
mine?
sucks. I 100% would.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I would speak at it because
Would you?
I mean, yeah, your mom's not alive to be like, get this drunk guy off the stage, you know?
She
'Cause it,
was like the first one to comment. Remember when we used to go like we went hard back in the day?
oh fuck
Like
yeah,
every fucking Friday, she was the first one. And then it was like
yeah,
she'd come in, dip, and then that's it. And then she'd like message me later and be like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with you two.
yeah. You
Y'all were
boys are
good.
crazy.
You were good until you started talking about faggots and pussies. I'm not even kidding you. It's like
No, I know
mom
you
said
told me
faggot.
about it. It's like I know it's like
Uh,
we my mom said titties the other day. It was my son's 9th birthday party. She didn't say it in front of the whole crowd, but I was throwing an empty beer in the garbage can, and my mom was standing in the kitchen with my two sister-in-laws, and she's like, "So anyway, I bent down and my titties flopped out," and I'm like, "Mom, don't say titties." Like, you're 77 years old. Don't you dare say titties in my kitchen. Meanwhile, I'm all shit faced. I'm like, fuck that fucking faggot. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Whatever.
uh,
But yeah, the GoFundMe page it's set up and it's raised for the mom of the three people who died, their funeral. It said that she didn't deserve what happened to her. I will never be able to wrap my head around how or why someone could do something so inhumane because someone's selfish actions, her three beautiful babies, now have to grow up without a mother. So please, I'm begging you, if you can donate anything to help us lay her to rest properly so her babies will have somewhere to go and visit their mommy in the future.
mm.
So this was yeah, her fucking a mom of three was filming a TikTok video in her kitchen with her friend, and her ex-boyfriend showed up and shot her through the fucking kitchen window, and it's all live on TikTok. But I don't have the video.
I'm sure
And if I did, I probably wouldn't show it anyway because that's
that's
kind of
fucked,
fucked up.
man. I don't know.
So
I just can't. Could you? I don't know. Could you imagine just hanging out with your fucking kids and like, yeah, and like, poop, poop, poop. Well,
I've been
fuck,
shot at. I've been shot at before
you know?
several times, but never with my kids. I've never been in a situation where like blap blap, and I'm like, we gotta go, But
Yeah,
I've definitely been shot at before, and but yeah, that's pretty much it. But no, I couldn't imagine anything like that where like we're getting bucked at. Like, wow, that's
yeah,
in your
like,
house though. That's
yeah.
the thing
I don't know. I would
is
probably that would enrage me to the point where I would lose all like senses around me, and I would probably get shot and keep going. You know what I mean? Like I would be that enraged, and I'd probably die later after I killed you. You know?
right. I would just assume like if you're like blop blop, like or glass shattering, immediate thing, floor, right? Like hit the fucking floor, right? And then
Hmm.
you do a head count, count the kids, count the wife, like, all right, stay on the fucking floor. Like me and my wife always have a plan, even we're in situations like with malls and movie
Yeah.
theaters, because the active shooter thing just It bugs me and it scares me, dude. So we have like a little plan, and I think we talked about that before. But to
Yeah.
happen at your own home, like that's a shitty situation because I don't know. She's a single mom, and I don't know what this chick did. I'm not going to victim blame, but her and this person broke up, and then this guy had the fucking, I don't want to say balls, but the audacity and the fucking shittiness in him to come and shoot at her home, and
No, I
fucking
get
three
it.
people died. Like, I'm pretty sure three people died from that, but
I don't
I don't
know.
know. Maybe I'm wrong because when I read these news articles, I'm shit faced. But the good thing about me is that I admit it. I'm like, I don't know. I don't remember what I just read. And what else?
Mm.
People were shooting at you specifically. I'm not going to answer that live on the internet. No, I've
I
never been
don't see the
shot at.
comments over here.
Oh, I see them. I see some comments. No, I've never been shot at specifically. I've never been shot at specifically. But I've
Okay,
definitely
now they're
been in
coming.
situations where they're like, "Foop, foop, foop, foop."
Yeah.
I've been in some hairy situations, we will say.
I think I've been
So here,
shot at.
well, right here I am talking about like I used to live in the ghetto. Another child is born in the ghetto, and I know it's like another man that served his country.
No, it's
You know,
nothing like that.
I
It's
know. I'm
different.
just
It's
kidding,
different. It's different.
dude. You like. It's so fucking weird. I don't know. Are you scared at all to go to Korea next month? Like, are you like, dude, I'm gonna get shot in my fucking testicles.
No,
My
I'm
belly
ready to get
button's
there and
gonna
get
get
back.
reversed.
Nope. I'm just wanting to get there, get back.
Do they have ice cream in South Korea?
Dude, I'm gonna tell you this. Their technology and their continent, world, country is so much more far advanced than ours. It's not even funny.
So, like, do they 3D print shoes? Like when you go to the mall and like, I want some Air Force Ones, and they're
I
like,
mean, I'm
and they just like print your
probably
shoes out.
I when I was there 10 years ago, 3D printing wasn't really big. But,
No,
like, cell phones, like, their cell phone service and internet and, like, technology in general is so superior. We're so far behind.
right. I've
It's
heard
crazy.
it's funny that I listen to podcasts that are like 10, 12 years old, and these people are like, oh man, in 10, 12 years, you're going to eat your meals in a pill. And I remember specifically they were talking about how fucking far advanced Korea was going to be. And
Oh, yeah,
it's like,
it's
here we are just kind of doing the same shit.
Well, there's no, the FDA doesn't regulate their food, and the food is so much cleaner and more healthier, and the government, like, governs their people so they don't get fat. Like you can't just go into, like, a restaurant and have a fucking free refill machine. Like, you have to take the cup back up to the counter and, you have to pay. And there was a couple of places where you were allowed 1 refill of soda, and then that was it. Like, they would not allow you to have any more because, like, the government is so, like, obese, like, they wanna govern everybody. I was pissed because I
Right.
went into fucking McDonald's and the cup was this big, bro. But
Yeah.
the food looked just like the shit on the fucking TVs and shit. When I
Where was
get
this?
there,
This was
this
in
is a
Korea.
yeah. When I get there, I'm
So
gonna
they
send you
got
pictures.
McDonald's in Korea or what?
Dude, they had a 3-story McDonald's with a fucking elevator.
But they probably only had one, right? They didn't have one on
Oh,
every fucking block.
they had a fucking dude, they had
Am I
several. So
really?
their country is so spread out and there's so much fucking people in it, they build up. Does that make any sense?
Oh yeah, they
They
used to
build
do
up.
that. That's why skyscrapers were invented, I believe. Like Brooklyn and all that shit in New York. Like there's no room there, and all these people fucking none of them have yards. They're
Mm,
all just they go fucking upwards.
yeah. No,
Can
it's
you hear me okay? Can the audience hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I've been
You're good.
listening to our past podcasts and I'm struggling. I'm battling myself. I'm like, oh, I sound like shit. I'm just worried about my equipment. I just want everybody's honest opinion.
No, you're
But
good. I listened to the last one and it sounded good. You sounded better than me. As far
I
as
disagree. But our little Scara here says, I don't know. I want everything automated. I'm perfectly capable to changing my thermostat, and I'm gonna be pissed when manual is no longer an option for shit like that. For example, I'm not gonna say who I talked to today, but I was trying to make this fucking phone call and it was all government automated bullshit. And it took me 4.5 hours to talk to a real human
I hate
fucking
that shit.
being. Dude, you know my patience. It is this much, 0. And I I can't believe I held on so long, but I stuck through it because it was something I had to do.
Yeah,
And it was fucking, it took 4
I believe it.
hours
I
to
believe it,
talk to
dude.
a human. And no offense, I hope I don't offend anybody, but I'm sick of fucking pressing 1 for English, and then I talk to a motherfucker that speaks broken English. The first human being I talked to, I couldn't understand him. And I'm not trying to be a fucking dick, but I couldn't understand a fucking word he said. And I'm like, so I got to contact these people, this is the email. Yeah, yes, my friend. And I'm not exaggerating. And I'm like, dude, I work for the UAW, the United Auto Workers Union. This is a fucking union of America that fucking produces motor vehicles. And I can't talk to a person that lives in fucking America. The fucking factory that I work at is a fucking 1.5 miles away down the fucking street, but I can't drive to the fucking factory and be like, hey, Shelly in HR, what the fuck is up with my pay stub? I gotta call somebody, and it took 4.5 hours.
Fuck that. Speaking of fucking thermostats, I'm a fucking lazy piece of shit, and I have the Google Nest shit.
Yeah.
I'll go change that shit right now and just be like, fuck this. It's great whenever we go like to Florida and we can put it on the setting and it like saves the fucking energy and shit. And then like if it like detects motion, it turns the AC down and shit. I don't know. It's pretty fucking crazy. But as sorry I got on the rant of that. But as far as people, yes, it hurts me every time. What was I doing the other
Like,
day? I had to call somebody. Fuck, what was it? I think it was like government travel or something to do with my government travel card, and it was a boob. He was like, "Mr. Marsh, would you like to?" And I'm like, "Ah." I was like, "Can you repeat that, sir? I couldn't understand you." And he's
and you
like,
feel like a dick, right? Because like he's
he was
just
like,
trying to do his fucking job. He's like, hello, my friend, my name is Chad. It's like, your
no, he's like,
fucking name ain't Chad, motherfucker. You know?
he's like, Mr. Marsh, can you hear me now? I was like, I can't fucking hear.
I feel bad for him because we probably use some of their cousins as sandbags. You know what I mean? It's like everybody fucking deserves the right to have a job and shit. But it's like, why can't we let Americans answer the phone? When I finally
Because we're
talk
lazy
to
and
the
they don't want to
person,
fucking do
check
it.
this out. The first fucking guy sounded like a fucking dog barking. Couldn't understand him. He sounded like I couldn't understand the motherfucker. But when I finally got a fucking person on the phone, it was a white lady and she was at home, and all I heard was, yeah, yeah, yeah. I heard her dogs barking. She was working from home, and I'm like, finally,
Yeah.
somebody in America that I can talk to.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, I live in Illinois. This is what we got to do. Bing, bang, bang. And she's like, oh, I'll help you right now. Tick, 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 tick. Boom. I was fucking done. 4.5 minute conversation. But it took 4.5 hours to talk to the fucking lady.
No,
I'm
I get
signing
it.
up for the army. This is bullshit. I'm mad now.
Yeah, don't do it.
No, don't do it. I'm too
Don't
old,
do it.
dude. So you want to listen to the next fucking
Yeah,
article?
let's hear it. Let's hear it.
You're gonna love this one. I do want to tell our audience, thank you so much. Like, please, if we say something that's funny, let us know what's funny in the comments. do those fucking laughy faces, say LOL, stuff like that. Please let us know that we're doing our job right, because sometimes when I'm sitting here busting jokes, I'm like, oh shit, maybe I went too far. If you think it's funny, please tell us. But this next motherfucking headline is going to be Audie's. I don't know. I've never even read this article before. The headline reads, "Beloved dad shot dead by neighbor after daughter touched the mulch." So,
What?
this is in Michigan.
Oh,
This is
go fucking figure.
Oh, it's not Florida. So Audie's like,
Fucking
yeah,
Michigan.
sure. So
It's
a
probably
father of two young.
Flint.
This is probably going to be a bad one because the dad got shot dead. Let's. Oh man, this is probably going to be a bad one. A father of two young girls was allegedly shot dead. How was he allegedly shot dead?
Yeah,
Is
how do
he
you?
fucking dead or not? Is he still going to fucking work at Steak and Shake? You know, what the fuck's going on over here? But a father of two
Allegedly.
young girls was allegedly shot dead by a neighbor who angrily confronted him after his daughter touched the mulch in his yard while the family was on a walk in their suburban Michigan neighborhood. So, Nathan Morris was 35 years old. He was on a walk with his wife and his daughters. His daughters are 2 and 5 years old. They were near their home in Canton just before noon on Saturday when police say their neighbor, Devereaux Christopher Johnson, age 47, confronted him and the two got into an argument. Now, Johnson is the father. He was reportedly upset that Morris's. Oh, wait. You know what? Morrison was on a walk. So Johnson is the dick squeezer here. Johnson's the dick. He's the fucking yard owner. Johnson was reportedly upset that Morris's daughter touched his mulch on his property. And a party member this fucking guy, he's the GOP, I guess. So this is probably why it fucking works. It's all local political bullshit. But the fucking neighbor took a gun out, started threatening the family, and the dude said that Nathan sent his family home and said that he would try and defuse the situation, but instead was shot and killed. So this dad is walking his two kids and his wife walking down the street, and then his fucking daughter ran up in the neighbor's yard and was like, mulch on a tree. He picked up a couple wood chips, and that motherfucker's like, get out of my yard with a gun. And then the dude was like, hey, wife, kids, go home. I'm going to talk to this guy. And then he got shot dead in the middle of the fucking street in Michigan. So he fired multiple times. He killed the motherfucker. He was unarmed. And when Canton police officers arrived, they discovered Morris with a gunshot wound in the street while the suspect had barricaded himself inside his house. What a coward little cunt. So your little fucking cool little neighborhood, nice little family walking down the street, don't touch my mulch. And the guy's like, fuck you. My daughter's just like, sorry, we didn't mean to touch your mulch, dude. No big deal. Blap, blap, blap. You die. And then he fucking hid in the house. And after several orders to surrender, the motherfucker finally came out and he repeatedly said, praise to God Almighty. That's what he kept repeating. He was taken into custody. He was charged with first-degree murder, as he should have been. And the victim who worked at Ford as an engineer got into politics and was affiliated with the Michigan GOP in Wayne. So he's one of my former UAW brothers. He's a union auto worker.
I think there's a little bit more.
Fuck you.
There's more behind that story.
They probably hated each other forever.
Yeah, they were already feuding. It just took that fucking.
We're speculating, and this is what I hate. This is what I hate because so many.
I'm calling a spade a spade.
I can't do that. You can do that, but I can't do that because people have saw pictures of me and things that I do, and they're like, "Oh, that guy has done this, and he's crazy," right? So, and they're like, "I'm calling a spade a spade." There could definitely have been prior,
well, that's what I'm saying
with the neighbors. Yeah,
I'm not somebody for their mulch. Come on.
Unless he was a fucking madman. He could have been a fucking some crazy asshole. I've seen the documentary Monster House. I'm kidding. It's a Pixar movie. Also, I lied again. It's not a Pixar movie. It's probably Dreamhouse. But that is none the wiser. But anyway, yeah, dude. No, you don't walk around touching people's mulch. But no, he didn't.
Man.
I don't know. I would assume that like I don't know. This is me. This is what I don't know what happened in his situation. But if I got shot dead in the street by a neighbor because my daughter touched his mulch, it would be because me and my wife and kids are walking around. My kid went up and was like, "Oh, cool, wood chips. Hey, get out of here. Get your kid out of my yard." I'm like, "Fuck you, dude. He just touched the mulch. It's not a big deal. We'll put it back. I'm sorry." No, fuck you. Gun comes out. I'm like, "Wife, kids, go. Leave, 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 leave." And I'm like, "Dude, relax. It's cool. Blah, 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 blah." And then I die. And then they make a movie about it. A Lifetime for TV movie.
Yeah.
And nobody's going to watch it. And it's going to be
Yeah.
fine.
It'd definitely be a Lifetime.
All right, so check this one out. I got another one. You're gonna love this one because we obviously love reading about horrific shit because we fucking suck at life. Totally kidding. That was called sarcasm, people. This headline reads: Son breaks into mother's house through the dog door, stabs her to death because he was upset there was nothing to steal. Florida, motherfucker.
It's got to be down south, Jacksonville.
Let's see. Let's find out. Oh, that's fucking Hillsborough County. Where's
County.
that? Do you know?
Ah,
Hillsborough County, Tampa,
Tampa.
Eastern Tampa.
Tampa. Yep.
So a
Fuck.
Florida man is behind bars for allegedly breaking into his mother's home through the dog door to steal from her and stabbing her to death while two kids, including his own daughter, were in the house. The last time I heard anything about a doggy door was Home Alone, and that's like 1992. What was it? The fucking guy put his head through the door and he got shot with a fucking BB gun or something?
Yeah.
So this guy's name was John Ayler. He was 37 years old and he's facing charges of first-degree murder while engaged in burglary and armed burglary and the death of a 64-year-old mother. And Hillsborough County Sheriff Chad Chronister said that John Ayler broke into his mother's home in Eastern Tampa shortly after 4:30 a.m. Nothing fucking good happens at 4:30 a.m. Every mom and dad, all the good moms and dads out there are like, if you're ever shit-faced, you call me in the middle of the night and I'll come get you. And then when you finally do it, they're like, God damn it. And you're like, hey, you told me to call you. But this fucking guy, instead of doing that, he breaks into his mom's house at 4:30 in the morning. It's like usually, I don't know. There's fucking weird. I don't know. I don't know how people can do these things to their own mothers. But he entered his mother's home without permission. He has done so on several occasions. He will break in the middle of the night and steal whatever he can get his hands on. This is a mother who has been taking care of his child since he was born 10 years ago. This kid was only 10. So as he's been, this is what I forgot to fucking mention. Let me see. Was this motherfucker 10 years old? No. Ever since he was 10.
He's probably like 20.
No, it said 37 at the beginning of the article. John was 37, facing charges of first-degree murder. He broke into the house. But the mom said, yeah, he'll break in the middle of the night and steal whatever he can get his hands on. This is a mother who has been taking care of his child since he was born 10 years ago. That doesn't make any sense. So as he's been in and out of jail since 2003, she's been the caregiver. She's been the person who his daughter can rely on as her guardian.
Oh,
As
taking
the
care of his
person-
child.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm like super shit faced. As the person who makes sure that she has the basic essentials in life. So you guys are wait, hold on. So this motherfucker was upset there was nothing in the home he deemed worthy to steal. So he armed himself with a knife and walked into his mother's room where an argument ensued. Duh. And he then allegedly stabbed his mother once in the chest. His 10-year-old daughter and the victim's 16-year-old granddaughter, who was also staying in the home, woke up to their grandmother's screams for help. She is now begging for her son, the very person who just fatally stabbed her, as she's dying. and pleading for him to help her. Jake, help me. Jake, help me. That's what these poor children wake up to last night. She's panicking. She's dying. She needs help desperately. So,
Fuck
like,
that
oh, that's
motherfucker.
fucking insane. So, she crawled to her teenager's room to get help. The teenager called 911 and cops rushed to the home. Paramedics arrived and pronounced her dead on the scene. John Ayler, the guy who fucking stabbed her son, ran away before cops got there. A concerned citizen called cops on Tuesday about his location, and they arrested him around 4 a.m. in Brandon. And this is, Michigan. I wonder if Brandon's in Indiana. No, that's this is a Michigan story, no? Didn't I tell you it was a Michigan story?
No, it's Florida.
Tampa. Fuck you, Audie. See, you're supposed to be on top of these things. I just read it. You're supposed to be the one paying attention. So yeah, they say he's addicted to drugs. He's been arrested over 20 times since 2003. Arrests include grand theft auto of a motor vehicle, felony theft, and possession of a controlled substance. Today, we have taken a significant step towards justice with the arrest of the individual responsible for the tragic and violent stabbing that took the life of an innocent woman. Our thoughts and deepest sympathies are with the victim's family during this challenging time. We remain committed to ensuring that those who commit such heinous acts are held accountable. She just wanted me to help her. I don't know. This guy's a fucking douchebag. He acted like he had no remorse. He didn't care that he killed my mom. He took my mom from not only me, my daughter, grandkids, great grandkids, sisters, brothers. She loved everybody. She took care of everyone. And he killed her because he broke into her house and she didn't have enough money for him to steal. So he fucking stabbed her. And meanwhile, we got
Shit.
people like you whose mom gets fucking taken away from cancer, who
Yep.
you would break into her house to give her a foot massage and cook her breakfast in the morning. And then you got scumbags that break into their house and be like, bitch, your TV's only 32 inches. And then they kill their mom. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's fucking absurd.
That's fucking stupid. Like, out of all people, like, don't kill your mom. You know what I mean?
Man,
I mean, don't
don't
kill your
want
dad either, but I think your mom would probably be.
to brother or sister or anyone for that matter.
I mean, don't kill nobody, but don't kill your mom. Come on.
Yeah, don't blame us is against murder. We're not okay with murder. We like to see them die like O.J. Simpson. But we really, really wish, like the other
Cancer
day when you
killed
were
him
like,
too.
I know, but I really wish it was a knife to a neck. You know what I mean? The way he fucking killed his fucking. Were they estranged or something? Wouldn't he know she didn't keep or have money? That it didn't really get into that. It just said son breaks into mother's house through dog door, stabs her to death because he was upset there was nothing to steal. My opinion, outside looking in, also hate to fucking do that, but I think he was probably a junkie.
Yeah, he was
Only
probably.
junkies steal from their fucking loved ones.
That's what I was thinking. He was probably fiending, trying to look for something
Florida,
to steal and sell.
Florida too. No offense, but Florida is a hell of a
Bath
drug
salts,
state.
meth. It was Tampa, so Tampa's wild. Tampa's wild.
Yeah, Tampa is fucking wild.
And fuck you, Florida's the greatest state ever.
I'm sorry, everybody, but I only got really shitty news stories to read to you today. I'm gonna keep going. I got some bad ones, and it's just what I came across. So this headline reads: Parents never fed their 3-year-old daughter solid foods, causing malnourishment and tooth decay so severe it would be unbearable to eat.
See,
A
don't
mother
be
and
fucking with kids, dude. That's what I
I know. I fucking I
don't
hate
read it.
reading this stuff. It's
Keep
not
going.
funny. Like me and you try to be funny, but it's like I don't know.
No, I get
We
it.
just we got to read fucked up shit too. You know what I mean?
No.
And when we do make fun and find jokes, we try not to do it at like the victim's expense, but and I don't know. Let's just fucking go down. We're already here. We're already
Yeah,
here.
fucking, I
Let's
want to
go
hear it.
down this fucking hole. Parents never fed their 3-year-old daughter solid foods, causing malnourishment and tooth decay so severe it would be unbearable to eat. Now, this is the article. A mother and father are behind bars after they refused to feed their 3-year-old daughter solid foods, which led to malnourishment and severe tooth decay. And this is what they said in Kentucky. Now, Cody Alfred and Jada McDowell, both age 32, are facing a charge of first-degree criminal child abuse. According to a criminal complaint, the child was taken to the Hopkins County Health Department for a WIC appointment on July 12th. Staff recognized the girl as unwell and determined her hemoglobin levels were to be dangerously low. Madisonville detective wrote in the complaint, they told them to take the girl to a pediatrician immediately. The pediatrician had the girl transported via ambulance to the emergency room. How shitty of a parent do you have to be to take them to the doctor and be like, my kid's sick? And it's like, yeah, because you're not fucking feeding it, you know? Dude, have you ever taken your babies to the doctor when they were babies and you're like, have you ever done that?
Yeah,
I have. I have.
yeah, I would take them for the most craziest things. Like
Dumb shit.
I look back and I'm like, did I really take my son to the clinic for that? You know what I mean? Like, but it's part of it because you never know. Like I hate when my son would run a fever. I hate when he still runs a fever because that's like the number one
It's
sign of like,
scary.
because I don't know, and
What?
he's
All right.
just
So this is a great example. When your kids were sick, what did you do? Like I called my mom, because my mom raised my crazy ass. You ever call your mom when your fucking kids are
I
sick as
did.
fuck?
I'd call her and she would tell me like, hey, this is what you need to do. Uh, obviously you need to take them to the ER or whatever. If you can't break the fever, um, A, B, and C. And she would tell me things to
Yep.
try to help break the fever, because
Yeah, absolutely.
you got to call
My mom
mom.
did
And
the
then,
same thing.
yeah. And then it's like last resort. Hey, just go ahead. If the
Go to
fever's
the
not
hospital.
breaking, take them to the hospital. Because
Yep.
sometimes those fevers can be wild. Like they'll just spike 101 and then like they go away and he's good the next day. And I'm like, what the fuck was that about?
Yeah, but Google is like, do
You
this,
know?
do that. But then you
Oh,
talk to
Google is
mom,
canceled.
and mom is like, put him in the bath with lukewarm water, add a little
Yeah.
bit of salt in the water, and take a fucking rag and dip it in rubbing
Dip it
alcohol
in.
and
Yeah.
rub it on their back between their shoulder blades. And you're like,
Mhm.
okay. And then like the fucking baby's fine. And you're like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
And mom was like, this is what you do, motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Now, I don't know. I would take him for the littlest things. I still do, but when he was little, like
yeah.
I worked a couple of cases where some babies with SIDS. That's the scariest fucking thing when I had my son. My daughter, I was scared of it too, but I wasn't really much there when she was first born because I was in Iraq. But uh, when he was born and working a couple of SID cases that I've done, dude, I bought like fucking cameras and fucking all this shit that would just
You've
monitor
been
like
on like sudden impact or like what do
yeah,
they call it? Sudden
sudden
infant
infant
death
death.
syndrome?
Yeah,
Like
and
you've
they
seen
just
dead babies on calls? Like you go in there
yeah,
and see
I
them?
I've I've been to a call where this one kind of fucked me up. One of my first ones. I get there and the baby's lifeless and the mom is like fucking just losing her shit, which she should be.
Hysterical.
And she like puts the baby in my arms and she's like, please fucking save him, please.
But
So
you're
the
not
ambulance is
really a
coming.
first responder, right? Like,
Yeah,
well, you
I'm a
are
first.
technically, but
Yeah, well, I beat the ambulance. I beat the fucking ambulance there.
right.
I always beat the ambulance. And I'm there and I'm doing like chest compressions because on a baby, it's like two fingers because this thing was an
Yeah.
infant. And I'm
Their
holding it and
heart's
I'm
like literally like this big
pushing it,
around,
yeah,
like
and my
fucking.
mouth, I put my whole mouth over the nose and the baby's
Hmm.
mouth itself, and I was chest compressions of 30 and 2, 30 pumps, 2 breaths, and there was blood coming out of the nose, and I knew what was going on, but I wasn't gonna be like, "Oh, he's dead."
Yeah,
You know?
right. That's right, right.
Yeah, so I did everything I could. That really fucked me up because I couldn't save the baby, because I couldn't bring the baby back to life, but, the baby was cold, and I already knew, but I kept pushing, and,
Yeah, it's your you show up and you're like, "Hey," you're like,
yeah.
"I'm here to help. I'm gonna try to help." And then when the real, I don't know. I don't want to say real people, but like when the
No,
ambulance
no,
gets
no.
there
Yeah,
and then they're
they
like,
come there, they got all the shit
and then you
that's
step aside, like,
just
I
made
couldn't
for that shit.
imagine what that's like to like uh sit there and know like what I don't know. It's fucking
No,
crazy, Audie.
the
Or
worst part of that was not being able to save the baby. The baby died. Obviously,
right.
the baby was dead,
When
but,
you got when they handed it to you, yeah.
y yeah, I already knew.
And then
But
and then didn't they have, like, a swimming pool in the backyard and you, like, fucking didn't you punt it? Like, you and the ambulance guys had, like, a thing going on about feet, like, I could make it over the
yeah,
swimming
we
pool?
started playing this game. It's called Kick the Baby. We watched South Park prior to,
Yeah. Yeah.
prior
Kick
to
the
this
can
call.
sucks.
Yeah, it was called Kick the Baby, but
No, I'm sorry, I shouldn't say things like that, but, like, man, that's
no,
fucking wild.
it's
Fuck
crazy
that.
because I did another case, same thing, and then I had my son, and it was like, dude, I had all these fucking cameras. I had this, like, motion detector that would, it would alert your phone if, like, changes in, like, his breathing and fucking
Yeah,
temperatures and shit. It would alert. I had all that shit, and then I thought back to my mom. I was like, "Mom didn't have none of this shit in 1984."
right.
It was just like fucking, good luck. Hopefully the SIDS doesn't fucking get you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No,
You know?
I was kinda having a similar conversation with my kids today about that. It was like, yeah, just like the dumb ones died and the smart ones lived, but, like, that's such a shitty way to say it, and I'm paraphrasing, that's not what I literally mean. But, like, in the '70s, like, there were no fucking you didn't have to wear a helmet on the bicycle, and there were no seat
No.
belts. They were just like, "Well, I hope he fucking lives." But even before that, way before that, like, when our grandparents were running farms, they'd have, like, 12 kids, and if one died, they're like, "Fuck!" You know? Like, it was
No, well,
fucked up, you know?
it was like they'd have like a dozen kids, and they're like, "Well, let's hope nobody gets the fever." Because the
Y
scarlet
right.
fever and all that shit, and the
Yeah.
measles and smallpox, like, that was
So
taking motherfuckers out, dude.
but last episode, you were saying that Gypsy Rose's pussy was beat up because she got fucked by 2 dudes. I wonder how beat up our grandmother's pussy is for squeezing out 13 fucking kids. You ever think about that? Let's know. You know what?
Oh,
I'm mad. Now I want to talk about Audie Marsh's grandmother's vagina hole
oh,
and what because, well, you didn't see it because you didn't come out of it, but
no,
I
I didn't see
guarantee
it. It
you
was
that was
well, see, my grandmother only had like, let's see, my mom, 2 sisters, so it's 3, 4. She had like 5 kids?
5 kids.
Yeah.
I think my mom literally has, like, 12 siblings, like, because my grandpa was, like, a dairy farmer, like, a quite successful one in Wisconsin, and this was a long, long time ago, and he had, like, fucking 12, 13 kids, and then they all like, when he died, they all branched out and, like, sold the farm and went on to, like, do their own things, but,
Yeah.
yeah, it was wild back then. It was like you had cows and you had fucking bunch of kids.
So,
But
like,
this is
you
Wisconsin. You're a Southern boy. We're a Midwestern family. Our thing was fucking cows and corn. What my family was into. Meanwhile, you guys were like what slavery and rebel flags or something. What'd you guys do down there? Wrestle alligators or something?
yeah, we own slaves down in Florida.
In 1994.
Yeah.
Fucking piece of shit.
No, could you imagine, like, fucking to make kids?
No,
That would suck.
no, dude.
Fuck
It took
that.
6 years for my old lady to talk me into having another one. I'm like, no. It's like me and my woman got together. We're like, I love you too. Let's move in together. And then we're like, let's have a baby. We had a baby, and it was like, cool, this is awesome. And then fucking 5 years later, she's like, let's have one other one. I'm like, absolutely not. No. I had to wake up in the 4 o'clock in the morning and fucking pour a little bottle of milk. Not
It's
doing
like
that again.
back in the day, uh, Bill bought another 10 acres. You know what that means?
He's gonna have 10 more kids.
I gotta have 2 more kids. 2 kids
Yeah.
for every 10 acres.
That's absurd.
Goddamn 15 kids across this. And when they're like 7, no one gets an education. You work. You work
Oh,
until
no.
fucking
Your
5 in the
education
morning.
is at home. Don't
Yeah.
go to them. Dude, it worked out for Charles Manson. His uncle was like, don't go to them schools, boy. And the next day he set the school on fire. And we know how that worked out. It worked out great for him. He was banging chicks left and right. He was all over the news. He's a fucking rock star, you know?
I couldn't imagine, like, all right, honey, let's fuck to make a kid. Think about it.
I don't know if
Think,
it had to
think
be
of
like
that.
that. It was
Like,
never no like sexy, like pull your long boobies out. You know what I
it's,
mean? Like, I
it's
don't
just
know.
like,
That's so fucking offensive
it's
to
like,
say, but
I'm
like,
just going to put my wiener through the hole.
it's so strange. I don't know. I don't know what it's like to
Yeah.
live. And dude, I wouldn't. You would? I wouldn't. I wouldn't survive. Fuck. If I was born 80 years ago, I would have been one of the fucking kids that like touched the
Scarlet fever.
iron. No, I would have touched the iron and fucking lit up into flames and then ran and touched the curtains and caught the curtains on fire. And then I'm like, I'm on fire, Grandma. And I'd have fucking set the couch on fire. And the
Bullshit.
whole
Do you not?
Duncan family would be dead. All
You
because I
know,
touched the fucking
I
iron because
set
I
the
was the dumb one.
goddamn mayor's yard on fire. You don't talk to
Oh,
me
no,
about
I
fucking
know. I
fire.
know.
I will burn the motherfuckers down.
How well do you think you would do if you were born, let's say 80 years ago? 80,
Okay.
100 years ago. Where do you think you'd be? You'd probably be in Florida, right? You'd probably be a southern, right?
Yeah. I
How
think
well do you think you'd do? I think you'd do well. You're a tough guy. You fucking did military and
I
shit.
think I think scarlet fever would have killed me at the age of like 22.
Why?
So when I was younger, uh I got held back. I was supposed to graduate in 2002. I graduated in 2003. I got held back in 3rd grade because I missed so much school because I was sick. And my mom couldn't figure out. I had to go to like Tallahassee to like this medical fucking hospital where
Yeah,
they
because we
test.
all know Tallahassee has the best hospitals in America, right? That's where you went, right?
That's
I
where they
get it.
sent me. It wasn't just some local shit, you know.
I know, I'm
Um,
kidding.
I had to go there. It's like there was some type of like bacteria in my blood, and like I would stay sick for like weeks, and the headaches. I would
Damn.
stay home from school, dude. I would literally stay in bed and with like 102 fever with headaches, and like the weird thing is my neck hurt. Like something to do with the bacteria in my blood made my neck hurt. It was weird, dude. So I would
That
have
is
been
weird.
I would have died. I'm pretty sure scarlet fever would have got me, or tuberculosis, or probably AIDS.
I probably would have got murdered, I would think. If I was born
Yeah.
like 80 years ago or whatever, like if I grew up in the 20s, like where I'm from,
Mhm.
I probably would have like been involved with like gangs and shit, and then they probably just would have fucking killed me. They'd have been
Yeah.
like, fuck, that I would either ran the city, or they'd just be like, yeah, he's fat, kill him. No, I'm just kidding. I probably would have fucked people up left and right. There I go lying again. So fucking no, it's just different. It's crazy, like being born in the South and the Midwest and the East Coast. Like it's just so fucking different.
Yeah.
I do think about that though. Like I watch gangster movies and I'm like, man, how would I have done like back then? Like I wonder where
What
I
about let's go way back. What
would
about
have
Oregon
been.
Trail? What about the Oregon Trail? What do you think? Like way back.
Well, like as a baby
Like
or as a full grown man?
carriage
Because Oregon
as a
Trail full grown adult
was
is the
like 20.
toughest sons of bitches ever. Like they
Like
eat their own children. You ever heard of the Donner Party, for Christ's sake?
but
You know what I mean?
no, I'm
Like,
saying like
woo.
what do you think? Could you have survived it?
No, fuck no.
I wouldn't either.
Dude, a fucking storm hit my fucking neighborhood 4 months ago, and I still got a fucking tree laying in the backyard that I have yet to take a chainsaw to. I'd have died fucking. I don't survive. I'm not a survivor. Unless any
Well,
YouTubers out there want to challenge me and come to my house and knock on my door and try to interview me, I'd love to,
I'll come to
challenge
your house.
those guys. Nah, I wouldn't need your help. They're skinny. So fucking we were talking about this malnourishment thing. Should we get back into that or should we skip another one? Because I didn't even fucking finish the story.
So
Fuck
I
it.
seem
Fuck
to
that
relate to
story.
that. Fuck that story. But there was a story on Reddit. This kid malnutri looked like a skeleton because it had autopsy photos. It was on Reddit, and the autopsy stated the kid was abused, but the cause of death was leukemia.
There's cause of death and manner of death, if I'm
Yeah, it's
correct.
called.
The House of a Thousand Discourses, my other podcast I did way before this one, I had a coroner on, and he was saying that there's a cause of death and a manner of death. So it's like if somebody got stabbed, it would be like I could be mixing this up, but it'd be like manner of death, stabbing, cause of death, he
Yeah,
bled out.
let out. Yeah,
You know what I mean? Right.
no,
So
I get it.
there's and that's how like where the COVID thing came in because they would do that, right? Like, wasn't there like things where like coroners were, saying
Yeah,
like manner of death, cause of death, and mixing it up. Like if somebody fucking died in a
because
car
it was
crash.
money.
I don't know, I wasn't there, but um, do you want to go on to another article or should we keep talking about this or what?
I don't
I'm
care,
gonna go
man.
on to another article.
Yeah, go to the
I
next
know.
one.
This is cool. I'm having fun with you. So this one is in Australia, I believe, and this happened 2 days ago. A mom of a
Breakdancer?
10-year huh?
Was it the
No, it's
breakdancer?
what is with the breakdancer thing? All right, fine. Let's get into that. Go ahead. Tell me about it.
Bro, fucking horrible. Have you not seen that shit?
I no, I have not. I
Dude.
have not.
So I've seen drunken midgets in a bar dance better than this shit.
They like to be called little people, Audie. How
No, I'm
dare
bringing
you?
it back. It's
No, you know
midgets.
what, man? We just
I'm
came
bringing it
back.
back.
You've said faggot and retard. Now you said midgets. We're only one Ed word away from getting canceled. Did
I
I
won't
say N
that
word or Ed word? Ah,
I won't
Ed
say
Gale,
that
fuck
one.
you.
But
No, we're gonna save it.
she got out there and was flopping like a fish, dude. Like, it was horrible. Like, it's like, how did you even get to the Olympics with those dance moves? And then you had the United States come out there, and it was like fucking a real fucking break dance. Her
Well,
shit, she was
I don't like. All right, so this is what I don't know if this is true, but I've heard that where whatever place hosts the Olympics gets to choose a new like category, right? And then I heard that the next Olympics is going to be in LA and they chose breakdancing. So now they're trying to get ahead of the curve and do this breakdancing thing. I'm pretty sure it's fake. Like whatever you saw for like memes or whatever of a girl breakdancing, she probably sucked. It probably wasn't real because as far as I know, I think breakdancing isn't going to be a legit sport in the Olympics until it comes to LA in what is it, 4 years, 8 years? How often does the Olympics happen? 4 years?
it's real.
I so they already so Paris hosted the new Olympics, yes, the most
Mhm,
current Olympics. I
mhm.
don't think breakdancing was a thing in it. I don't think breakdancing is an official Olympic sport until it comes to LA in 4 years.
I don't know
I'm
about that. I don't know.
I'm pretty I could be wrong. How often does Olympics happen? Is it 4 years, 8 years? Audience, please tell us. I hope
Every
Har
4.
every
What did she
4
say?
years is the Olympics. It's
I think
about
it's every
something
4.
else. But Harlot says one of them, I think, cause is like homicide, suicide, or natural causes. Then manner is drowning, stabbing, etc. But I could have those back. Yeah, same thing. Just like me. I'm not sure if like cause and manner. But I think that Olympics, what is it, 4 years or something? I bet there's people out there
I think it's
fucking
4.
outraged. But, I think LA is going to host the next Olympics, and every place that hosts the Olympics gets to choose a sport inducted into the Olympics, and LA chose breakdancing. So I don't think it's official yet, but I have not seen these memes or these YouTube videos or anything like that. I'm just
I'm gonna
not
try
sure.
something. Since we're towards the end, I'm gonna put the video up here and let's see if we can get it
Who
going.
said we're towards the end? We went fucking live 2.5 hours last time, motherfucker.
I'm not saying we're towards the end, but I'm just saying we're
I
fucking.
know.
Let me see if I can get this motherfucker.
I know.
in
I'm
the
just
button.
kidding.
I want to do this, and I think this is gonna be funny.
All right, what are we doing? Let's do it.
All right, give me a second. May not have the sound, but we can do this. I want you to watch this.
I will watch, and I will turn volume up super loud. I must hear now.
I don't know if we can get the volume going, but we'll fucking.
Yeah, I have not seen this.
This is.
Oh, that's not bad. That's better than I can do.
What the fuck? Bro.
That bitch spun on her head. Good for her. Good for her. No, no, dude. They call it, yeah. That shit was gangster. Ray gun. That's my bitch. I'm gonna bust some freesties with her, dude. I'm gonna put her on my new CD. Nah, that shit was tight. That shit was gangster as fuck. She was like, ooh it, just fucking grabbing her fucking shoes and shit. She was dope. That shit was dope. I couldn't do that. You couldn't do that either. Don't even lie. You want to hear about a 10-year-old girl who got her fucking throat slashed?
Yeah.
See, I fucked you up there because you're like, you could have been like, no. And I'm like, well, you're shutting down the podcast. And then if you're like, yeah, it's like, you're weird. No, but we talk about, I don't know, man. We just talk about things. This happened 2 days ago. And it's fucked up. And it happened in Australia. No, Australia. This happened in Australia. I haven't gotten to the Rockford news yet, motherfucker. I try to. So many podcasts are like, oh, this is going on and this chick is missing. And it's like, yeah. No offense, but we all know. And here at Don't Blame Us, we try to bring up the most obscure things that are still happening in the news. It's real. And some of them are fucked up and some of them are funny. Like, for example, our last episode, the chick that was at Applebee's, right? But this headline is a 10-year-old girl found dead with throat slashed by horrified dad. The mom, all right, let's see. Let's expand this here. She's fucking adorable too. You guys want to see her? Look at this tiny little fucking adorable 10-year-old girl. Look how cute she is.
Sad, dude.
Yeah, it's fucking bullshit. I hate this. The mom of a 10-year-old schoolgirl found dead with her throat slashed has been charged with murder. Sophie Wang was tragically found dead at her home on the Gold Coast in Australia by her heartbroken dad as a beloved 5-year-old student's school pays tribute. So, Queensland police revealed that the mom, Ying Yang Zhu, 46, was arrested after cops launched a murder investigation. Detective Acting Inspector Kent Ellis said they tracked down Zhu in a nearby street 4 hours after Sophie's dad, Young Wang, reported finding her body. I'm not making these names up. I'm very sorry if you find them funny. I do, and that's bad. But fuck you! We're supposed to be a funny podcast. Audie sucks. This is a tragic and distressing incident, and our thoughts are with the family and community at this time. Blah, blah, blah. In my 15 years as a detective, it is one of the most confronting scenes I've ever seen. Sophie, let's get back to the girl here. Sophie was found just after 6 p.m. at her home in Emerald Lakes, Carrara, as her horrified father and emergency services were unable to save her. Cops started their investigation shortly after. Yun, an associate professor at Griffith University, put on a blue forensic suit at around 6 p.m. and helped officers uncover what happened. Ellis added that despite her father and the emergency services' best efforts, the 10-year-old was pronounced deceased by attending paramedics. An investigation was immediately commenced, and as a result, the child's mother was charged with her murder. Zoo's case is due to be heard at Southport Magistrates Court after she didn't show in person on Wednesday. She was remanded in custody and will next appear on November 29th. The girl's principal at Emmanuel College, Dan Brown, he wrote a letter to parents paying tribute to the beloved schoolgirl. He wrote, "It is with a heavy heart that I inform you of a tragic incident that occurred in a home within Emerald Lakes last night, resulting in the passing of one of our beloved students. We are devastated by this incident and know it will profoundly impact our school community. Our prayers go out to the family and friends of the child, and we extend our deepest condolences to all those affected by this tragedy. Counseling and grief support services have been provided to all students, and Sophie's devastated classmate, Oliver Hayes, 11 years old, told the Daily Mail Australia that she was one of the smartest kids in our school. There's so many words to describe her. She was very nice. She really cared about people a lot, and she was very kind." The Queensland police inspector said cops were called at 6 p.m., adding the girl lived at the home where her body was found. At approximately 6 o'clock this evening, police received the 000 emergency call in relation to a 10-year-old girl who was located deceased in a unit. At this point in time, we are treating the death of the 10-year-old girl as suspicious, and investigations are currently underway in relation to the demise of the girl. Her fucking throat was cut. Like, how suspicious can this be?
Yeah.
The 000, so this 000 must be Australia's 911, I'm guessing. The 000 call was made by a relative who was at the incident scene when they located the 10-year-old girl. She called the scene quite traumatic. Some of these, sorry, I'm just trying to get through this article, and it's just so weird to read these things. And like sometimes I feel that I'm supposed to entertain you and be funny, and so if I do, I apologize, and I'm gonna try to go forward without trying to be funny, because the shit's fucked up. At the end of the day, it's a 10-year-old girl who got her fucking neck slit, and it's not funny. Pictures circulating on social media show several cop cars and an ambulance with their lights flashing on the street. That usually happens in all these scenes. There's always fucking cop cars and everything. And our last episode, we talked about like Gypsy Rose and her mom's scene and how we'd look at those. And it's like, I would never look at a kid. Like, if there's like, I won't look at that stuff. Like, that's just, it's fucking insane. But a tent was put up beside the ambulance shortly before 8 p.m. The Queensland newspaper reported members of a forensics team in blue suits were seen entering the property. The neighbors, they said they were struck by heartache when they watched the cops come into the street. He said, quote, "It's just a terrible, terrible event. Terrible. Breaks your heart." Two male colleagues of Professor Yoon visited the home on Wednesday morning and spoke to officers. Another unnamed resident was in shock. She told local media, "It's normally very quiet around here. I can't believe it." That usually happens, like, where they're like, "It's such a fucking quiet neighborhood." That would happen in my neighborhood, your neighborhood, if the fucking 10-year-old girl got her fucking throat slit next door. What was it, by her dad? I didn't
So who
read it.
did it?
I did just read it. I'm so sorry. Like, I get into these things and I read them to you guys, and like when I read them, I'm just like blah blah blah, just trying to give you the facts. And my ADHD and also me drinking also like doesn't help. But it was uh let's see who fucking killed her. I bet the audience is like, I know who killed her. It was the
What, the
fucking guy.
mom,
You
I'm
already
guessing?
read it. The mom of a 10-year-old schoolgirl found dead with her throat slashed has been charged with murder. So the mom did it. Yeah. Sorry, people.
Say why? Say why, you think?
I don't know. I just read the whole article and I probably read it in broken fucking drunken English, and I apologize. I've been trying to get Audie to do a podcast with me all day long, and he finally decided not to do it till fucking 11 o'clock at night, and I'm
Oh,
shit faced,
fuck.
and
What?
it's his fucking
Blame
fault.
me. Blame me for your fucking shortcomings.
I hate you. So let's do another really, really bad one, and let's try to get to a funny one. Middle school student pulls out gun and shoots friend. 11 years old, dead after argument over a fucking vape pen.
What the fuck?
Guess what state this took place in?
I'm gonna say Ohio.
Florida, fuckface.
Oh fuck! I love my state.
A Florida middle school student is facing criminal charges after allegedly shooting his friend dead. Detectives with the St. Petersburg Police Department. Weren't you close to St. Petersburg? You got to be close to St. Petersburg. Florida ain't that big.
I think it's down south. It's down south.
So detectives with St. Petersburg Police Department arrested Gavin Lorenzo Santos Brown. That's the thing with Mexicans and Latinos. They always got 4 fucking last names. Fuck this guy. Whatever happened to, like, good names like Richard Ramirez? You know?
Oh, yeah, that's a great
Killed a
name.
bunch of fucking people.
Oh,
2
outstanding
names,
name.
Richard Ramirez. No, this fucking cocksucker's got to go kill an 11-year-old, and they'd be like, my name is Gavin Lorenzo Santos Brown. It's like, fuck you. You get 2 names, bitch. All right. I might have just fucked that whole thing up. It might even not be the real person. A Florida middle school. Fuck! I'm just kidding. No, I'm just fucking with you guys. A Florida middle school student is facing criminal charges after allegedly shooting his friend dead. Detectives with the St. Petersburg Police Department arrested Gavin Lorenzo Santos Brown. He was 14 years old. They arrested this little motherfucker on Monday night and charged him with manslaughter following the death of an 11-year-old. Viandre Hargrove. Santos Brown turned himself in without incident. 4 days earlier, Santos Brown and Hargrove attended a party at the home of a mutual friend. As the victim was preparing to leave to return home, he sat on a sofa in the living room. The suspect, the fucking goddamn, these people need to learn how to spell shit. They were adjacent to the victim on the sofa and pulled out a handgun. The 2 boys then began discussing vape pen that was stolen from the suspect by the victim unknowingly. A witness told police that he asked Santos to put the gun away, but when he turned his back, he heard a single gunshot. Police say that Santos then fled the scene on foot, leaving the gun behind. Never do that. Officers arrived on the scene to find Hargrove dead. They then questioned the eyewitness. The gun was probably fucking stolen anyway. You know goddamn well it was. 11-year-old kid, he didn't fucking buy it. He fucking took it from his dad or stepdad because he's Mexican, and we all know Mexicans have stepdads. No, I'm just trying to make people mad because we're back. We're back. This is what we do. I'm just kidding. I'm Mexican on the inside. I'm kind of like the reverse of a coconut.
I see it.
Because I'm white on the outside, but brown on the inside. Santos remains in custody, and detectives say they are still investigating the events leading up to the shooting, as well as how Santos acquired the gun he allegedly used in the crime. The defendant has yet to appear in court and enter a plea. But at the end of the day, we got an 11-year-old dead because he got into an argument with a 14-year-old at a party on a couch over a vape pen, and the 14-year-old pulled out a gun and shot an 11-year-old kid.
How is that manslaughter?
Now they're trying to, because they're fucking kids. Dude, the people I hung out with when I was a kid were fucking maniacs. And I was fed my whole life. I'm like, if you want to do something, you better fucking do it now because you'll be out by the time you're 18. That's what I was fed into my brain by like the, association I hung out with or whatever. But that shit still happens to this day. They're like, they fucking put guns in kids' hands and they're like, fucking do it, bitch. And then when they get out, they're promised all these things and they don't. It's not true. It's not true.
Still wondering why it's manslaughter.
Well,
fucking
because they're
murder?
minors, because it was reduced, because they're minors. That's what I'm saying. That was my point, is that minors can do things and then they get reduced. Unless like that one guy that we covered who like lured a child. He was like 12. He lured a 4-year-old into the woods and beat him to death with a rock and stuck a stick in his ass. Remember that guy?
Yeah.
And he got fucking life. And they're like, fuck you. They tried him as an adult.
Yeah,
When
I don't know.
this also happened in Florida. So
I think it's Tampa.
Tampa, yeah, Florida, Tampa Bay, right?
St. Petersburg. I think it's Tampa. I think. You ever seen that movie Bully?
No, but I've heard about it, and I heard that it's pretty fucking brutal.
It's a good movie.
And I don't want to watch that. Like, I watched Kids, the movie Kids.
Yeah, I got that movie too.
Yeah, and that was like, I mean, besides raping girls and shit, like that was my scene, like skateboarding and drinking and partying and being wild. But the whole movie was like basically like about AIDS and shit, and like it was a fucked up movie. But after seeing Kids, I was like, oh, the guy made Gummo, and I'm like, I don't want to watch fucking Gummo. Like that's fucking like, no, I'm not doing it. And then what was the other movie you just brought up? Bully. Is the same guy, right? That made Kids and Gummo.
It was it was basically a kind of depicting on what happened with that whole story. Happened in Florida.
Bully did. So is Bully like a real thing, or what's up?
So the movie behind the story depicts everything and how it went down. It's just in a movie form. Basically, this kid was a fucking asshole. He was a bully, and his friend, he would get him to do fucked up shit, or if not, he would bully him. And it just depicts on how he kept pushing and pushing and pushing this kid, and this kid, hired this group of kids hired this fucking hitman, which was another goddamn kid. And they ended up killing him. You need to watch that movie, dude. I got that movie somewhere.
Is it super? Like, is it gonna fuck me up? Because, like, what fucks me up? Like I've seen, like, Kids didn't fuck me up because I saw it when I was a kid, but I was like, I already knew rape was wrong, But like things like the movies that fuck me up are like Last House on the Left, I Spit on Your Grave. Those are the kind of movies that fuck.
The Hills Have Eyes fuck me up with the rape scene and shit. I can't fucking.
Well,
I can't do rape.
But that's the second one, right?
Feel fucked up.
Isn't the second one like? Doesn't it open with a rape scene? It's like the second one or something.
I don't remember. I think there's two of the movies, and then
there is
on Your Grave. That one.
Yeah, it's just I can't fuck with it. I just no. And like I'm never gonna watch Human Centipede. I'm never gonna watch what's the other one? Serbian film. Like I don't have no interest in that.
Yeah.
Put a mask on a guy and let him fucking
kill
teenage girls that are
really though. When I say
I'm so much better. But
when I say kids, it's like depicting like 18, 17, 18, 19.
Yeah, dude, I was a kid.
Really a good fucking movie, dude. You're a bitch because you don't know.
I'll watch it with you.
All right.
I'll buy a bunch of crack. We'll sit down here. We'll fucking smoke some rocks. We'll afterwards we'll beat our women, and we'll fucking go find some Native Americans to get into a fist fight with, and we'll take back our land, and we'll watch fucking Bully because you said so.
I even had Nick Stahl sign a fucking scene from that movie.
Nick Stahl, who is that?
He played Bobby Kent. He played the fucking bully. Nick Stahl. He played Terminator. He played
T-1000?
no, it was Terminator
Is that
3.
Nick Stahl? Oh, I never seen that gay shit.
Played in Sin
Harlot
City.
Oscara says, I didn't remember a hitman in Bully. I was thinking the group of kids did it themselves.
It was a group of kids, but they went to the fucking right here. Leo Fitzpatrick plays the hitman in the movie. It was like this older kid they went to, and he's like, "This is how you fucking do it. You gotta fucking do it this way." Like he was like orchestrating like all the fucking bullshit these group of kids were doing. But yeah, it's played by Leo Fitzpatrick. He played in Kids. He played in Cold Night. Cold Comes the Night. He played in a lot of good
Who the
movies.
fuck is Leo Fitzpatrick? Who was he in Kids? Which guy was he in Kids?
He was Telly. He was the one that was fucking
Oh, that fucking
giving out
asshole that
AIDS.
was
Yeah.
fucking
He was the one.
stealing everybody's virginity and giving AIDS to
Yeah.
everybody. That cocksucking piece of shit. Oh, if I catch him in real life, I know you were just acting, but I'm still gonna beat you up.
Damn, he looks
And that
like
just shows how
shit.
good of an actor he is.
Look at that's Leo Fitzpatrick today. God
Oh,
damn,
good
he
for
didn't
him.
age well.
Dude, the chick, the one girl from Kids, Rosario Dawson, she was in she's in fucking Mandalorian and shit. She was in Kids.
Yeah.
And she said she was like 11 or 12 years old, and the director was like filming kids playing in the curb with skateboards and fucking around with the fire hydrant. And the director was like, "Hey, do you live here? Like, I would love to put you in my movie. Can I meet your mom and dad?" And she's like, "Yeah." And he met the mom and dad and was like, "This is legit. I'm making a movie." And she never acted in her fucking life. And she was in the movie Kids. And now she's on the fucking Mandalorian. And now she did fucking Clerks 2 and shit. Like, this is before Mandalorian. Mandalorian's way bigger than Clerks 2, obviously. But yeah, Rosario Dawson. She was in Kids when she was a young girl. She was probably 13 or something.
You know, Justin Pierce that played Casper in Kids was the fucking dude in
Yeah, Friday After Next.
Friday After Next. Yeah.
Yeah, I know that.
Chico Hugh.
This white folks problem. All
Yeah,
right, so you want to hear about this
looking
one?
at the cast of Kids, man. Those are two of my top favorite movies. Is those two fucked up
Chloe
movies.
Savini. What else was she in? Harlot is 100% right. Chloe Savini. Motherfucker. What was she in? She's in a bunch of shit. Please tell me.
She played in a lot of fucking. That's her.
Yeah, I know. And what?
She's the
though?
one that
She's
got
those
AIDS.
big, huge eyes. She's so fucking pretty, blonde girl.
American Psycho.
Giant eyeballs.
American Psycho.
American
The Brown
Psycho.
Bunny,
Wow.
Zodiac. Feud. Yeah, she plays in a lot of good movies. Party Monster. She
Oh,
played fucking Party Monster. She was the fucking the girlfriend. The fucking Gitsy. Remember Gitsy in Party Monster?
Are you talking about the Macaulay Culkin film?
Yeah. Yeah, she
no,
was
I've
Gitsy.
seen that movie like 2 times, but I'm not like super duper familiar with like all the characters and shit. But I've definitely seen that movie. She's in the Dahmer series too on Netflix.
Man, all these good
wow, she did go on and she did some good things. That's Chloe.
I think she's hot. I think she got a weird aura around her. I just feel like she's fucking hot. I would
She
drink her
seems
bath
like
for
the
her.
whole
I'd drink her bath for her.
She seems like a wholesome young lady who became a fucking very beautiful actress. I never thought she was very pretty, but I like her, said Harlot. She was an American Psycho. She was one of the stripper that was like getting bit, and he's like, I swear to God, I'm not gonna beat your ass this time. And then he brings her to the house and he's like, lick her asshole, and then he like grabs the chainsaw. Yeah, that's fucked up.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, if a man ever says, come to my house, I'm not gonna beat you up. Here's $40, lick her butt. Don't do it. Don't do it.
I've licked girls' asses for free.
Right.
I've never got paid. It's bullshit.
Never once.
I was robbed.
Never once. You know what's speaking of assholes and licking and all that stuff. One of my favorite podcasts ever. I'm not getting paid to say this, but like I love Last Podcast on the Left and all that shit.
Yeah.
There's this other side one. Like Last Podcast on the Left, like recently, like got rid of one of their dudes and they got a new dude in. Has like been their best friend for years. He's a great guy named Ed Larson. And he has his other podcast called The Brighter Side. And they're like, yeah, email us and fucking tell us, funny stories, whatever. I emailed the motherfuckers like 3 weeks ago, and their last episode on Wednesday, they read my fucking email. And I heard it today when I was doing the dishes, and I was like, I fucking made it. Ed Larson, man, such a cool fucking
Made
guy.
it.
Yeah, he read my fucking email. It
Was
was
he like,
awesome.
"Oh, this comes from a gentleman from Rockford, Darren
No,
Dukin."
no, not at all. It was
He
a
should
couple
have.
weeks ago. A couple weeks ago, they did a episode on like quitting because they're called The Brighter Side, and they're like they try to find like the positive side in shitty situations. So they did one episode like about quitting, whether it's quitting cigarettes or quit jerking off on the subway, whatever. And they were like, if you got any, stories about quitting, let us know. And I emailed them and I told them a funny story about me quitting a job. And they read it on their fucking podcast. Who like, I don't know. It was really cool to me. It
Mm,
it it it, it made me feel good. It humbled the fuck
that's
out of
pretty
me.
cool.
No one's gonna know who I am because of it. But I was like, oh my god, he's reading my fucking email, and it was fucking badass. It probably feels like the same way Andrea feels when we give her shout outs. Hi, Andrea Stevenson. Um, she's got booby cancer. That sucks. One of our
Yeah.
fucking best listeners. She's gonna die in 6 months from titty cancer. Her titties are trying to kill her. And we're not raising funds for her because fuck that bitch. But she's super awesome and I love her. Baby love milk. Cancer no take titties. All right, love you, Andrea. I'm just kidding.
Damn,
What?
that's fucked up.
She's my mom's friend. I can say this stuff until her fucking, husband
I
tries
hope
to fist
I
fight
hope
me.
she tells your mom and your mom beats the shit out of you.
My mom's gonna ground the shit out of me. All right, we're about done here. Let's read
I
one
don't
more.
see
Do you
no
want to?
comment. I didn't see her comment.
No, Andrea's not here. Andrea loves us. This is just
No, I know.
Andrea. If you're mad at me, I fucking
No,
100% apologize. You know what? I'm
No.
not gonna apologize because she's probably like, holy shit, they said my name. No, I'm just kidding. We're not famous, but I love you, Andrea, and I've known you for a long time, and you're super cool.
No, she's a
And
cool chick.
I'm pretty sure I still owe you $4. No, I seen her sing Dixie Chicks one night, I think, at a bar one time. She's a really
You
good
can't
singer.
say that. It's the chicks now. You can't say Dixie.
Well, fuck those ladies, those fucking dykes, those dykey chick bitches from where? Where are they from? Fuck them. All right. I'm just saying, we're not even an hour and a half in yet. If we haven't been offensive yet, I got to be offensive. So let's get to the next story,
All right,
shall
what's
we?
the next one?
All right, let me look at my private chat to make sure Audie's like not like, dude, relax, man. You're saying a lot of weird shit, bro. Just kidding. All right. Arkansas woman who said drowning wait, hold on. Arkansas mom who said nothing as boyfriend drowned her 5-year-old son in the
Oh,
toilet and then buried the body in the floor. Got 40 years. You want to read about this fucking amazing article?
yeah, let me hear it.
All right.
That's fucked.
A judge in Arkansas sentenced a mother to 40 years in prison following the death of her son. Ashley Rowland, age 30, pleaded guilty to 2 counts of permitting abuse of a minor in Lee County Circuit Court 2 years after her boyfriend killed her son by drowning the boy in a toilet. Officers discovered the body of a 5-year-old Blue Rowland buried under the floorboards of his home on December 16th in 2022, the day of his 6th birthday. Rolland had been facing charges of capital murder, abuse of a corpse, tampering with physical evidence, and battery in the first degree as well. But prosecutors moved a null proseque, null, what's that? In exchange for her guilty plea on the 2 counts of permitting abuse. This looks like a French word, noye proseque. I don't know what this means. All you true crime people, please tell me. The first count is related to death of her son, while the second is for injuries her then 6-year-old daughter sustained at the hands of Nathan Bridges, Rolland's boyfriend. So Bridges, as the boyfriend, 34 years old, pleaded guilty to charges of first-degree murder and abuse of a corpse in court last month. He also entered an additional guilty plea to a charge of first-degree battery for an incident involving the victim's older sister. The judge sentenced him to, how long do you think he got? What do you think he got?
He got he got life.
60 years.
Yeah.
He's 34. He got 60 years.
What the fuck?
Well, that's probably life, right? And the fact
No.
he's going to get the
No,
shit
that's not
beat out of
fucking
him.
life.
He's
That
not going to have a
cocksucker
good
will
time.
live that whole 60 fucking years
Wait,
too.
he drowned a 5-year-old in the toilet. Why is he even in prison? Why can't they just put him in a big box and mail him to our house? You know what I mean?
Bro, that's what they should do. I think you should be able to sign up and be like, yo, whoever kills children, we shackle you, chain you, we ship you in a fucking crate to said address, and that's where you're erased for the rest of your life. And we own them. Like, we could fuck them, we could fucking beat them, we can fucking make them our bitch. Like, we could shove pineapples backwards up their assholes.
Oh no, we've had this conversation before.
You
Like,
know.
I would totally rape the fuck out of a grown man. Like, me and you would just
Oh
get
fuck
drunk
yeah!
and just chain him to a
You
fucking bar stool
you touch
and
a
just punch
kid.
him in the back of the head and take turns fucking
Yep.
him and beating him and putting cigarettes out on him. Fuck him. Fuck you.
Yep.
Fuck you.
Yeah. Like, that's
I
the
would do
worst
that.
thing you could do to a person, a man, is fuck them.
Or any woman for that matter. Like, I would assume, like, even a woman's biggest fear is probably getting raped. I would
Yeah,
assume
but I
that's
mean,
probably like,
I wouldn't. I'm talking about a man touching kids or hurting my
no, I know,
kids.
rape them. Like, fuck
I'm
them
gonna,
right in the ass
yeah, I'm
with a
gonna do
knife.
it myself.
Yeah, I would find new ways to fuck this guy. Maybe stab him in the belly button, put my
Mhm.
dick in there, fuck him. Fuck him till he dies. Fuck him to death. Isn't that what
That's a good one.
fucking fuck him to death? Isn't that what Mr. Garrison said?
Yeah, I
He's like,
think
we're gonna
so.
fuck him to death.
Like, we
I don't
could
know,
Eiffel
man.
Tower. Like, I'd be like one end and you'd be at the other, and we just Eiffel Tower each other, like high five this motherfucker.
Harlot Oscara has kind of a good point. She's like, I don't know. I feel like the people who would volunteer to do those jobs must not be quite right either. I get that. There's a weird little part in mine and Audie's mind that makes us want to, like, beat the fuck out of a pedophile or rapist and just,
Fuck them.
fuck him to death. But, maybe there is that little part in our brains. But see, here's the thing is we all have the same brain inside of our skull. We all have the same chemicals that flow throughout our skull. There's some people who think it's okay to fuck kids. And then there's people like us who think it's not okay. And we're like, hey, this is what happens when you fuck kids. You get stabbed and beat the fuck up and whatever, raped, whatever. I have friends everywhere in this country. Clown boy. Remember me, clown boy? I got friends everywhere in this country, in prison and out of prison. And if you do some fucked up things, and I know who you are, you're going to get fucked. You know? That's just how we do things. Audie was in the fucking army. You think he's never seen a man strapped over a fucking barrel of bullets and fucked in the ass by a goat? You think Audie never stood there and was like, fuck that guy? They took turns on him. This is what we do.
Oh fuck. No,
We're
for
coming
real,
back.
though.
This is Don't Blame Us podcast, and we're coming back, and we're only here for the people who think that we're funny and want to listen to us. If you find it offensive, all you got to do is just not listen. But
Fuck off.
also make sure, no, don't fuck off. Share
Fuck
this
off.
link. If we make you mad, share this link and tell all your friends how mad you are. Tell your girlfriend, tell your boyfriend,
There's
tell
gonna
the
be
kids you
somebody.
molest.
There's gonna
Show
be
everyone.
There's gonna be somebody that's like, oh my god, they want to fuck pedophiles. Like they're
Fuck yeah, dude.
human beings too. They have rights and feelings too.
Yeah, they have the
Yeah.
right to have my thick cock inserted into their tiny ass.
They're gonna have some feelings, all right.
They're gonna get fucked. I'd fuck the shit out of a grown man. If I knew that he
Oh,
was
me too.
fucking with kids. You know what I mean?
No,
They're like,
I'm
fuck it, dude. Here you go, Audie. Darren, hour and a half. What's up? We'd be like, we'd be splitting 40s, drinking New Glarus spotted cow, getting fucked up, and be like, we're gonna fuck this guy up. And we'd rape him right in his butt and beat him up. And then we'd hand them back over to whatever authorities, I don't know,
no,
unless
I
they'd
wouldn't
be
hand
like,
them
dude,
back.
I was thinking that too.
Nah.
They might be like, no, you already like kind of beat it up. Like you guys could keep him if you want. And we're like, sweet.
Put him in a hole. It puts the lotion
No, I
on
got
the
plenty of
skin.
space. I mean, all these YouTubers already know that I'm a fucking murderer. I got a bunch of room for fucking people. Should we finish this article or just keep talking about how we're gonna fucking rape fucking I don't know. I just don't even care, dude. I'm
in
like,
a weird
I'm
scheme of things, I would hope one day that I am faced with something to where I can beat and rape a child molester. Is that weird?
well, no, absolutely not.
Like I want it
As
to
long
happen.
as long as it's done behind closed doors. You're not doing it on a subway station with a bucket next to you asking for donations. It's
No.
private. But as I stated earlier, I got
put it on the
friends all over
Patreon.
this world. I got friends in prison too. If you know somebody out there that is in prison for pedophilia, hit us up on Patreon and let me know, and I will have them raped for $500. What's funny is they think I'm fucking joking. $500.
Damn.
Because I'll get 250 of it, and I'll give the other guy 250 on the books.
On the books.
I'm Darren Duncan. Everybody knows me. I know everyone. Don't fuck with me, clown boy. That's just funny. Like the fucking kid from Illinois. It's like they have no fucking clue. It's so funny. Let's should we still talk about this fucking guy that fucking drowned a 5-year-old in a toilet and then
fuck that guy.
well, a criminal complaint obtained.
Where?
Huh?
How are you gonna watch? How are you gonna watch your fucking boyfriend do that to your child?
I forgot the word. There's a term for it. There is a term for women that let. You know how there's like a term for guys that let other guys fuck their wife? It's called a cuck, like a cuckold.
Yeah.
There's a term for women that let men abuse their daughters, and I forgot. No, it's a real story. I forgot what. It depends what real story you're talking about. But there's a real term for women out there who let men like molest their children, and I forgot what the term is. But you know how there's like big fat gay guys and they call them bears. Well, there's like a term for women who let men like molest their kids. It's a real thing. I don't know about it. Like I'm not in the fucking club, but I just heard about it in the news and shit.
That's fucked up, man.
I don't know what real story she's talking about.
I don't even like fucking strangers even yelling at my kids, let alone I don't know, man.
I've never been in a situation where somebody's tried to discipline my child. There was one time. Oh, no, that's a real story. The drowning of a kid in the toilet. If you want, let's finish the story. Let's wrap this up because you and I are going to go back and forth and be like, yeah, I'm going to fucking fuck the shit out of that guy. So let's stick to the facts.
All right, finish the
and
story.
let's get back to the fucking story. So, the as I said, the Arkansas mom who said drowning, Arkansas mom who said nothing as boyfriend drowned her 5-year-old son in toilet then buried the body in the floor, got 40 years. Now you've heard what I've read so far. We're gonna finish this. Yeah, we're pretty weird. But at least, okay, listen here, harlot. Would you rather go on a date with me? We're eating some Philly cheesesteaks, right? And I'm like, you know what? I'd fuck the shit out of a pedophile. I'd punch him in the back of his head. I'd fucking break his knuckles and I'd rape the shit out of that motherfucker. You'd probably be like, that's really fucking weird, but he's kind of handsome and kind of funny. You might go on a second date. But on our first date, if I was like, there was this one time I took this boy's face and put it in a toilet until the bubbles stopped, and my girlfriend at the time didn't say a goddamn word. You gonna go on a second date? No. Right? All right.
What the fuck?
Dude! All right. A
No,
criminal
you-
complaint obtained by Inside Edition Digital says that authorities learned about Blue's death after the boy's grandmother contacted Lee County Sheriff's Office and requested a welfare check for Blue and his sister. Rollin then turned over her six-year-old daughter to deputies, but said Blue was not home at the time. So DCFS shows up. They're like, hey, we heard your boyfriend's over here drowning kids in toilets and raping them. And she's like, oh, no, that's nothing. But here's my 6-year-old daughter. Well, where's the son at? I don't know. So Blue's sister had severe scab wounds on her head that her mother claimed were caused by an allergic reaction. But doctors determined the child had been severely burned. The children's grandfather then called deputies to say that he learned his grandson might be buried under the floorboards inside the home. Deputies located where Blue was reported to be and found newly nailed down boards. Deputies removed the boards and found disturbed earth underneath. Deputies removed the top layer of the earth and found the child's flip-flop shoes and a red and blue blanket. How fucked up is that? First of all, who the fuck has dirt under their floorboards? Y'all need to get a better house. But anyway, I'm just kidding, but a little baby, they pull up the floorboards, they see some disturbed dirt, and they're like, there's little tiny flip flops. Flip flops the size of the fucking phone that I'm reading this article on. You've seen baby flip flops and a blue blanket. And this fucking kid is just gone. A fucking body. Like, what the fuck, you know?
I don't know, dude.
And those inside the house then had to exit the residence because of the pungent odor of decay. Have you ever gone into a situation and you smell death and you knew what, like, you're like, that's death? Whether it's a mouse, I'm not going to ask you what it was, but whether it was a mouse or a human or whatever, you smelled death before, right? It's pungent. It stays in your nose.
Yeah.
And whenever you smell it, you know exactly what it is. When you come home from work and the wife is like, you smell that? And you're like, yeah, it's death. And you know exactly what it is. You follow it and you're like, oh, it's a mouse under the fridge. No big deal. But when you smell death, you know what it is, right? Right. And so authorities said that Rollins soon confessed to police that Blue had bitten Bridges' finger when he put it in the boy's mouth, so he took him into the bathroom and drowned him in the toilet. Rollins said that she did nothing to stop this and came into the bathroom afterwards to find Blue struggling to breathe and his body limp. Bridges then buried the body in the floor and covered him up with some dirt and new floorboards. Her daughter had been severely burned when Bridges held her under steaming hot water in the bathtub. Both of Rollins' parents appeared at her hearing, where prosecutors had them read victim impact statements on behalf of their late grandson. Lawyers for Rollins and Bridges did not respond to the requests to comment. So, a fucking little 30-year-old piece of shit put his finger in his girlfriend's son's mouth, who was 5 years old. The 5-year-old bit him, and then he drowned him in the fucking toilet, and the girlfriend was like, nothing, and let her boyfriend bury him. And this all happened in where?
Arkansas.
Don't tell me. This better not be Florida. Yeah, it was Arkansas.
Yeah. That's wild, dude. And they probably went and fucked after that.
I don't know.
That's gross, dude. Fucking nasty motherfucker.
Should we
I think the mom is just as nasty as him.
Oh, 100%. Absolutely.
She's more. I think she should have got fucking 100 years.
This has happened in Rockford several times. There's been a lot of cases where I've seen there's a word for it. Like I said earlier, cuckold with men and wives, but there's a word for a woman and a child where there's people who like you know, they can't get a man and they date a pedophile and let like the pedophile fuck with their kids. It's a real thing. And fucking luckily sometimes these motherfuckers get caught, you know. Harlot says, one time when I was little, a snake got into our well and died, and we didn't know until the water started stinking. Yeah, that happens a lot. What about the Cecil Hotel in LA? That Asian girl, she was
Yeah.
Canadian. She was Canadian, my bad. But you know, she's Asian, whatever.
Fell in
And
the water thing or something.
they fucking found her on the roof.
Yeah.
And like they're like, what happened to this girl? And then like guests were like, dude, this fucking water stinks. Like, what the fuck? And they finally went up there and found this fucking girl, like just dead, floating, and they don't know how she got up
It
there,
was
how
like
she got in there.
the fucking one of the like a store worker fell behind the big
Yeah,
refrigerating
I've heard
coolers
about that.
and wasn't
How
discovered till
many
like 10 years later or
how
something.
many people didn't like that motherfucker to the point to where they didn't give a shit to look for that
Yeah.
motherfucker? You know what I mean?
The job just
Like,
thought he walked off, and then no family member or nothing put up
I got at
anything.
least one friend that would be like, he's kind of dumb. Did you look behind the refrigerator? You know what I mean? Audie, please do that.
Yeah, I
If I
will.
go up missing, be like, all right, where was the last place we saw this guy? At the movie theater? Somebody's got to check the popcorn machine because sometimes he gets baked and hungry and he puts his hands where they shouldn't go. He might have got twisted in a thing. Go look for my boy. And then they're going to find me in a claw machine. I'll be like, oh, stuck in a claw machine trying to get a fucking Elmo for my son and shit. Harlot says, have you seen the cases of these parents starving their kids to death and keeping them in tiny rooms in uncomfortable positions until they die?
Dude,
Like Shonda Van, I have no idea what you're talking about.
that fucking
Please
reminded
elaborate.
me 2 years ago or a year ago, this kid wasn't going to school. Now this happened like 2 miles from me. This kid wasn't going to school. The son that was like 14 or 15 ended up telling the school that his mother makes him chain up his little brother, and that he chained him up and put a sock in his mouth because he was told to do so. And he died. All right, that's just the headline of the story, right? Well, come to find out, the two women, she had a son. They were a lesbian couple. Were beating and starving this kid, this one kid, a little younger than Bentley. I think he was like 7 or 8. Chained him to the fucking bed, was starving him. He ended up dying, and the older brother went to the school and was like, "Look, I think my brother's dead. Like, I was told to put this sock in his mouth, and he's been chained to a bed for the last couple months."
Jesus Christ.
This happened like 2 miles down the road, dude.
When did this go on? I'm not familiar with this at all.
2002, 2003? Yeah, dude.
Cheese and rice.
I'll bring up the story and I'll show it to you. But it happened like 2 miles down the road, dude.
There's a movie called The girl next door I told you about that happened close to where my dad grew up as a kid, and there was, like, this girl that kinda, like, adopted by her aunt. Her aunt took her this is in the '50s,
Mm.
and the aunt took her in to get, like, Social Security money and, like, let all the boys in the neighborhood fuck her, and, like, they'd burn her, and it's one of the worst, craziest things I've ever seen. It's up there with, like, I Spit on Your Grave type movies that I'll never watch again. I've seen it once just because my dad was like, "Yeah, that happened, like, fucking not too far from me," type shit. I think I've told you about this before,
Yeah.
but it's despicable. Like, the aunt carved into her stomach, "Fuck me, I fuck." That's what she carved into her she was, like, fucking probably, like, 14 or some shit. And then, like, her little sister, like, they made her, like, watch it and shit, and it's fucked up. Like, it makes me wonder what happened to all those boys that did those things. Like, where the fuck are those little scumbags? You know what I mean? Like, what are they doing now? Are they out molesting their daughters probably, you
Yeah.
know?
That's
No, she was
insane.
not she wasn't a disabled girl. If you're talking, look up the movie called The Girl Next Door. There's several movies called The Girl Next Door. One of them specifically, has, like, really pretty girl in it, and fuck, I can't think of her name, but it's a comedy. It's like a romantic comedy, and a lot of it has to do like Emil Hirsch is in it, and it's like a romantic comedy. That's not the one. There's a movie called The Girl Next Door, and the cover has a young girl's face with like a blindfold on her, and yeah, it's fucking this is real shit. The aunt took her two nieces in, made them live in the basement, and let all the neighborhood boys fuck them and put cigarettes out on them, and, um, it's bad. They took a blowtorch to her vagina and to seal it shut. That was the aunt's, reasoning for that, to seal it shut, and it's bad.
Gee.
It's bad, bad, and it really, 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 really happened. It's a real thing. I think it was in Missouri, actually. Is where I think it took place. But oh man, the things of being a podcaster. It's funny, like these fucking people are like, Idaho 4, check me out. I'm so cool talking about all this shit. And it's like me and you talk about things that like aren't like nobody knows about. And we're like, check this out. Isn't this fucked up? And then we discuss it.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was definitely held hostage. Our little scare. Look it up. It's called if you could bring it up, Audie, Google it, look up, Girl Next Door. You brought up that one thing, but you probably can't do it, right? Because it's not downloaded or something?
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah,
I
look
could
up the
try.
movie. No, that's fine. What if you wanna do that, I'll get into the next,
So
story if you want,
so
unless you
here's
got
that
one you wanna read.
here's that one that happened in Waynesville.
Okay, let's go.
Now, this is there's other articles, but this is the one I just found, and it's the first one. It says a second woman has pleaded guilty to the death of a 5-year-old child from Waynesville. Samaya Buford pleaded guilty to endangering welfare of a child as part of the plea agreement. Prosecutors has dismissed the other 3 charges against her, which included second-degree murder, involuntary manslaughter, and abuse and neglect of a child resulting in death. Buford and Angela West were arrested in March of 2023 after investigators found a 5-year-old girl dead in their home. The girl's older sibling had reported to a teacher that his younger sibling was unconscious on the floor at home with a sock in her mouth. When officers arrived at the home, they spoke to Buford and West, who showed the girl to officers. She was beneath the blanket, next to a balled up sock and a length of rope. The brother told investigators that his sister was tied up because she got up at night to steal food. West told investigators that originally the girl's wrists and ankles were tied with duct tape to keep her from leaving the room during the night to get the food. Then Buford told the investigators that 2 women escalated the abuse by hog tying the girl up with a nylon rope. The girl screamed and cried throughout the night. Buford said they put a sock in her mouth and taped it shut and put a bandana over the top of her for making noises. Buford told investigators that she had come home to find the girl tied up that night and she died. She said that sometimes the girl would get tied up with the rope around her neck, but it wasn't choking her. The others later said that she didn't remember if she had ever tied the rope around the girl's neck. She blah blah blah. So yeah, dude, that happened like right down the road.
Is this what Harlot was talking about a few minutes ago? Or is this
I don't
something separate that you
I
brought
think it
up?
was something different, but
Oh, okay.
yeah, that happened down the road, man. Like it's fucking
Hog
crazy.
tie. There's different forms of hog tie. Like you've probably seen grown men be hog tied, and it's like it's fucking bad. But
Yeah.
imagine to do it to a kid, a fucking kid, and they got a rag on their mouth. It's like who the fuck gets off on that shit? I don't get it.
No.
It's fucking weird. Like we did that episode. If you want to go back, you guys can check out the West Memphis 3, and those 3 kids were hogtied, and it was brutal. It was they think that the guy that killed him was like a Vietnam vet because the way he tied him up, and it's just fucking crazy. Do you want to hear about a 6-year-old kid that was stapled to the wall and shot with a BB gun?
Fuck. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Florida?
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
Michigan.
Figures.
Michigan, again, Midwest, baby. I'm in the Midwest, so most of the news articles I get are from the Midwest. So a 6-year-old Michigan boy was stapled to the wall and shot with a BB gun before dying because of horrific abuse. I didn't know. Before I read this article, I didn't know he died. I just read the headline. I thought it was going to be a funny little fucking asshole Big Brother situation. Now we're in new fucking territory. New charges were announced last week against Elena Rose Jennings, 25 years old, and Daniel John Giachinazway. He was 33 by prosecutors in Oakland County. They now both face murder and a host of other charges in connection to the death of Giovanni Jennings. The mom and her boyfriend now face life in prison. On July 30th, police in Madison Heights, Michigan, responded to a mobile home for a report of a child not breathing. When they arrived, officers found the boy unconscious and suffering injuries all over his body. He was rushed to the hospital and died the next day. Oakland County prosecutor revealed that the boy had suffered abuse and had been confined for an extended period. Now, this is a quote from McDonald, who is the Oakland County prosecutor. He says, quote, Chulo had pervasive bruising to his abdomen, fuck you, Darren, abdomen, which was also bloated and distended. According to the report, he had an apparent BB wound to his shin. First responders and emergency room personnel noted extensive external injuries as well. Investigators found over 100 hours of videos and photos to go with text messages discussing what happened to the boy. The boy was confined to a pen in the bedroom and was beaten in front of his siblings. The parents watched him in the pen where he would misbehave, which was described as him urinating and drinking and trying to leave. At one point, prosecutors said Giacchina stapled the 6-year-old to the wall to keep him confined and facing the corner. A photo showed the shoulders of the child's shirt, which stapled against the wall. Both Jennings and Giacchina laughed about the photo and Giacchina's use of the staple gun to solve the problem. According to the text, Chulo was being punished in this manner for looking out the window in the pen area. So they kept him in a fucking pen, right? When authorities searched the home, they found marks in the wall that matched the staple gun. They also found a BB gun and a CO2 cartridge in the residence. You and I are familiar with real firearms. But CO2 BB guns can also be
They fucking
painful,
hurt.
especially to a kid. You know what I mean? So CO2, they were shooting him with a fucking BB gun with a fucking CO2 cartridge, dude. And as we carefully sifted through the evidence, what we found can only be described as horrific. Yes, that is true. And do you guys want to see a picture of the fucking scumbag that fucking did it? There he is. Oh, here it is. This guy.
Looks like Zach De La Rocha from Rage Against the
Oh!
Machine.
It does.
Like a great value
It looks
brand.
like if fucking he got kicked out of Rage Against the Machine.
Piece of shit.
Oh my god.
He needs to be kicked in the dick.
I don't know. I that's fucking, I don't know. That's what I got. I could probably find some more articles, but those are the ones that I wanted to bring up. I got another one about a fucking husband that dies in his pregnant his pregnant wife's arm after being attacked while fronting car vandals. If you want, I got a lot of bad stories.
So she said that she got an arrowhead pellet.
Yeah,
I shot-
removed.
I have a scar on my finger where a pellet went through from a fucking CO2 BB gun.
From a
That's
CO2?
Yeah, that motherfucking shit hurt. The Daisy Red Rider ones, the one little click. I mean, they popped and
Yeah,
pinged.
Daisy Red Riders, man. That's where it's at. Those are the only. If you're gonna own a BB gun, those are the ones to get.
It hurt, but it ain't like them CO2s, man. That CO2 will fucking humble your ass.
Them CO2 cartridge carrying motherfuckers will fuck you up.
Mm-hmm.
Hold
They'll
on a
kill you.
second.
They'll kill you if you hit you in the right way.
God damn it. I was trying to find some weed. Oh, I was starting to get irritated because I'm like, I need to puff on something. I was going to smoke a cigarette or something. All right, I got to get out of here. I hate this fucking place. No, I'm just kidding. I was like, dude, I want to smoke a cigarette. I'm like, fuck that. I'm going to smoke a fucking weed. And then I fucking stood up and I spilled my beer. And this is why I hate going live with you at 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, hey, Audie, let's go live at 8. And you're like, duh, and ignore me till midnight. But there's been times where I've ghosted the shit out of you. So it's all good. I'm just kidding. I'm playing. But yeah, we got to get out of here. It's 2 o'clock. I mean, 2 hours in. We're 2 hours in. I'm pretty much done. Harlot says, definitely. It went an inch or so into the muscle, so it didn't go straight through a head and probably rattled around if it hit someone in the eye. Now, how many people are watching us?
474.
That's why I thought I was going to guess around like 424. This is going to be on Spotify. Our Patreon is up. Patreon.com/don't blame us. You can get all kinds of extra fucking badass footage. We do a lot of like behind the scenes shit. There's a lot of like when we talk about things that Audie has done in the field, in the army, and as a police officer, we have pictures of him posing with roadkill. Swear to God. We have pictures of him tackling grown men and dragging grown men out of houses that have been at the time accused of killing their family, and then come to find out it was actually real. And Audie's beating the shit out of a criminal in the front yard. We have footage of that, and we're also gonna do watch-alongs from now on. Audie's gonna go to Korea, if you guys don't know. And he's gonna be there for a year, and we're gonna have like a 16-hour gap between us two. So we might not feel like going live. So what we'll probably do is watch alongs because we'll both be tired as fuck. So you got to head over to the Patreon. It's $5 a month to get all this extra cool shit. We're going to do Tread, the documentary. We're going to do watch alongs of like old school horror movies and make fun of them. And we're also going to watch videos of Audie just like beating the fuck out of fucking people because he's a terrible police officer. I'm just kidding. That's not true. Every single person that we have footage of Audie beating the fuck out of deserved it.
Every single one of them.
Every single one. And there's like what, 34, 35 videos now we have on Patreon of you beating the fuck out of people. And they're all white. which is fucking crazy because the reason why people were like, fuck, don't blame us podcast, they're fucking two bald white boys. And it's like, dude, every single person that Audie is arrested in our Patreon and beat the fuck out of, they're white guys. Fuck you. We're not racist. He beats the shit out of white people. You know, quit being a fucking dick about it. But it's patreon.com/don't blame us. We have t-shirts, we have stickers, we have dick pics. We do not unsolicitate our dick pics. Audie will send you a dick pic.
Oh,
$75 to see his uncircumcised peen. $95 to see it erect. This is a real Patreon thing. Head over to patreon.com/don't blame us. They think I'm joking.
my jizz is on there.
We sell dirty underwear from horror movie actresses that were given to us. They were donated. We also, the jizz thing is way more than $95. That's something we're not going to get into because that was on the black web. Thanks for bringing that up, asshole. Now I got to explain that to the feds.
I do have Linnea Quigley's thongs.
Underwear with fucking kissy lipstick prints on it.
Yeah, it's somewhere.
Yeah. So those are up for fucking sale.
I'm gonna start selling my used boxers.
Oh yeah, dude. I don't even worry about it. When you came and stayed with me those 2 times.
Yeah.
I remember when you woke up the next day and you're like, dude, I packed all my bags and I don't know where my underwear is. I got them. We're gonna sell them to patrons. Yeah, I didn't wash them or nothing.
All right.
They still smell like Audie's back balls.
Back balls.
Back balls. He's got 2 sets of balls. He's got an 8 skin and 2 pairs of balls. It's the most goddamn thing I've ever seen.
It's the weirdest shit ever. It's like a platypus.
Dude, did you know at one point the platypus was considered a cryptid? A cryptid is like a Loch Ness Monster, Bigfoot, things like that. At one point in life, this is a real thing, the platypus was considered a cryptid creature. People are like, I swear to God, it looked like a fucking beaver, but it had a beak like a fucking duck, and it had webbed feet. And people are like, bullshit, yeah, right. And then finally somebody killed one, and they're like, oh shit, dude, platypuses are real.
Well, they got like, let's see, webbed feet, fur, a beak, like
makes zero sense.
They got like fucking poisonous barbs.
Yeah.
And they lay eggs, right? Am I right? They lay eggs, right?
I don't know.
I think they do.
I don't fucking know, man. I just read about fucking kids getting
dude.
stapled to the wall. I don't know about fucking.
I wonder how they fuck.
I
wonder what a platypus dick looks like.
Probably similar to yours, you uncircumcised piece of shit.
Let's look it up. Let's see what a platypus dick looks like.
All right, let's go. For $85, you can see Audie's uncircumcised peen, by the way. Platypi, plural.
Platypus dick. Or should I just say
platypus dick?
Penis.
Yeah, you should totally say penis because it probably won't show up.
Oh shit!
What does it look like?
It looks like mine. That's a platypus dick.
It's really short. It's thick, but it's short. That's a limp one too, though, right? Are those the testes? The little pink things?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Oh, that's so weird, dude. Look, that one's like opening up.
He's got 4 balls.
No, that's that looks like head.
Wait, that's the head of the dick?
Yeah.
Because I know pig cocks swirl. They're like corkscrewed. So platypi cocks have like. That's fucking crazy. Dude, I've tripped on mushrooms that look like that.
That's weird.
That's crazy. Harlot says they used to think the AA was a demon. What's that? The AYE? AYE? What's that? Have you guys ever seen one? They look like they're patched together, and one of their fingers is like 10 feet long.
What is it? AYE?
AYE hyphen AYE.
Is it a fish or?
I don't know.
What is
We're going to find out real quick. I have no idea what the fuck that is. I've never heard of that. I'm glad she brought it up.
it looks like a possum fucked a bat and a monkey.
Oh, yeah. I want one for a pet. I'd fuck the shit out of that thing. A pet. I'd pet the shit out of that thing. I'd pet the fuck out of it.
Look at its hands, dude. Like,
So go to patreon.com/don't blame us. And for $5 a month, you can hear Audie and I discuss different animal cocks and how we would manually masturbate them for artificial insemination.
10 inches.
$5 a
long.
month, people. Don'tblameus.com. No, it's patreon.com/don't blame us. Should we keep going or should we get the fuck out of here? I want to smoke some weed. I want to smoke a cigarette.
I'm gonna go take.
Yeah, we're 2 hours in. Let's get the fuck out of here. Thanks to all 426 of you that watched us. Check out our Spotify. We're back on Spotify and YouTube. There's the fucking my YouTube, his YouTube, our YouTube. And then, yeah, the Patreon is what really helps us out a lot. So patreon.com/don't blame us.
Yeah.
And we'll send you some cool shit. They won't be dick pics. It'll be like dirt from like where, you know, John Wayne Gacy fucking buried his second victim. It'd be things like that. I was planning on going to bed early tonight. It's 2:30 a.m. We're so sorry. I am actually super duper impressed of all the people you watch on YouTube. I'm very like flattered that you sit here and watch Audie and I until 2:00 in the morning. Where you're at, where we're at, it's 1:30 in the morning. So thank you so much for watching us and laughing and getting our sense of humor because we're fucking dorks. We're just nerds that are trying to be funny. And if the people that find it offensive, those aren't the people that we want watching us anyway. We're just telling jokes. We're being best buds. And we're trying to find an audience that enjoy our humor and enjoy our stories and like hanging out with us. So welcome to this very, very, very small club. Tell all your friends about it. The friends that you have that you think would also think that we're funny or handsome or fucking want to tweet about us and be like, I hate these assholes. I can't believe how fucking rude they are. They said retard 17 times on their last episode. Tell those people too. Tell everybody. We love you so much. I'm going. We're out of here. Yes, Audie? That's our outro.
We are out. Thank you for
All
tuning
right,
in.
brother.
Thank you for tuning in to our little Passion Project podcast. Remember, we go live every single Friday night, same damn time, same damn channel. So if you miss it, don't blame us.